Hello. Hi. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's a nice rainy night here in Phoenix, Arizona.
It is Peoria, to be exact.
Yeah, Peoria, to be exact. And loud.
Yep. Jerry's got a loud car. Thanks, Jerry.
So tonight we're just going to have a free-for-all, kind of talk about whatever we want to.
What up, Enzo? Enzo's in the mood for some shits and giggles.
I thought you would be, Enzo. I was counting on it. I was hoping so.
I like giggles with my shits.
You got a spot on your nose. So I'm going to put that in there so Enzo can join us. We can talk about a bunch of shits and giggles.
That's like Happy Madison. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit?
Breakfast.
We should have a show one day where we just do lines from movies.
We should. Because I watched a couple good movies with my mom a couple days.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, that's always good.
The Color Purple and Thelma and Louise.
Oh my God, The Color Purple. Oh my God, Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, you know my favorite line from Thelma and Louise?
Which one?
I'm in deep shit, Jimmy. Deep shit, Arkansas.
I love that. I love it. I'm trying to think of my favorite one. It's probably one where the husband says something, where he says something like, I don't remember now, but you know how he's always pissed off and he gets on the phone.
Oh, when she when she calls him.
What was his name again? I haven't watched it in a while. Seems like it's time to watch it again.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
What up, sister?
It's a good movie. Hello, Nikki. And then The Color Purple obviously is like
You sure is
my favorite movie.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
You sure is ugly.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have any favorite lines? Their movies? How about Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Are you still here? Go home. It's over.
I don't know that movie by heart. I haven't seen it enough times.
Oh, I love it. I freaking love that movie.
I loved
Hi, Enzo.
Weird Science too. Weird Science.
Oh, I do too. Don't shut me out.
We used to love that movie.
Yeah.
Hello, Enzo.
Hello.
Hello. Been better, but better than I have been.
Well, let's just turn that frown upside down. I believe a lot of the community had a loss. Someone passed away.
Oh no.
Yeah. Can you tell us who you
were? My good friend Sonny Conway, who did the Paranormal Chop Shop on as of late was doing it on Friday nights, and got contacted last Saturday by his wife saying that he had passed away.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're not promised any time. It could happen to any of us at any time.
No, and because she never like took part in the show. His wife Deanna, she never took part in the show, so she also couldn't get into Sonny's phone because it was password protected, and she didn't know what it was. So she asked me, she's like, do you mind telling all of his friends online about this? Because I don't have any way to do it. And you actually know who they all are. And I would just be guessing, you know, rather than they just see some random Facebook post in like 3 or 4 days. So I started, sending messages and making phone calls and shooting texts off and all that stuff.
You are a very good friend. I can feel it in my bones. I can actually really feel it in my bones that he appreciates that you did that.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
I was happy to do it because that takes she's already got enough going on. She doesn't need that burden to have everybody from every corner of the internet calling, bugging her to ask what happened, how did this occur, how could this possibly everyone goes through those cycles of grief, because it happened about 50 times to me this past week of, I just want to tell you that Sonny's gone. Oh my God, this can't be real. Denial. Oh my God, well, how did this happen? And it was just tough. I have to kind of recycle the whole thing, over and over and over again, and go through the whole thing with everybody. We had a little show on Monday that we did, kind of a farewell thing. And then I got contacted yesterday morning because I was checking in with Deanna from time to time, see how she was doing. And I chatted with her yesterday morning. Everything was fine. And apparently some other news happened during the day. She's like, I, I just found out that this is going to cost me way more than I thought.
Oh yeah.
Is there
Oh,
any
That's
way
true.
to do like, she's like, I don't know how any of that stuff works. I know they do things online where like people will donate money, blah, blah, blah. So got her set up on a GoFundMe where everything's going
Good.
straight to her account. And I don't know how recent you may have had to have a funeral. They're not cheap.
They're not.
right.
They're not.
They are not. And she was so embarrassed to even ask for money and all that stuff.
Oh.
But there was one part of the thing where she just wasn't expecting. We're just kind of like, oh yeah, you owe us this much money now. Where it was like $2,000 or it was a little over $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I just need to set it up for like that 2,000. It's like, wait a minute, how about the rest of
Yeah,
the
there's
funeral?
still more.
It's way more. It's like 3 times plus that amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's like, oh, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't know.
No,
'Cause
bother people. Yeah,
was like,
that's
well,
what we're here for.
here's what you do when you set it up. We'll say 3,000, which is still really low ball. And I gave her like an example of what to write and include like a picture of you two and all of that. And she set it up. And if you don't mind, I'll post it here in the private
Please do.
chat.
Please post it. Yeah, please post it, and we'll mention it again before we close out too.
Because you could put that link in the regular chat where I can't. I don't think I'm blue in your chat.
Okay.
But,
Where did you put it?
It's in the private chat.
Oh, in the private. Got it.
But she set it for $3,000. She sends me. I had already set up like with a giant like group messaging thing with everybody that I thought might be able to have a little reach, for online YouTubers and stuff. And as soon as she sent it to me, I sent it out to the group because I had already explained what was going on, the whole thing, and everybody started sending it out. In under 2 hours, she had like $4,000.
Oh, good.
Good.
You can donate more, even you have a goal, but that's not like, well, that's the end.
That is so awesome of you, Enzo. You hooked that up and look, it came out even more. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think you can probably get away with doing a funeral with like 5,000 maybe. I don't know. The most recent one, I think it was about 5,000, and they did everything.
Her current count on that GoFundMe right now is $6,518.
It'll be good. I think she can make it. Yeah.
It isn't. That's the thing is she had that surprise thing yesterday that caught her off guard. She didn't realize she had to pay for. So even that amount isn't covering everything.
Damn.
Which, I won't say what the number is, but
yeah, I know. But that just goes to show you.
It's certainly better than 2. So if anyone out there is familiar with Sunny from Paranormal Chop Shop and a number of different shows over the years, just a salt of the earth, regular guy, he would take time out of his day. I've got hours and hours worth of Facebook Messenger things because he liked using Messenger to communicate.
Yeah,
but he hated typing. He hated typing on his phone because he always used his phone. So he just sent a voice message.
Oh,
we
great.
have hours upon hours because he also liked to sing too, of him singing the songs and stuff like that. We've got a collection of those that we've already sent to Deanna. Her daughters are going to make like a collection for the actual service when they do that. So, he's still kind of with us on the internet.
He still is. Oh, I'm here to tell you, he's still with us because death is an illusion. And I'm not here to change anybody's beliefs, but I'm just going to share with you my knowledge because that's what I do. I share my gifts, and I'm here to tell everybody that death is an illusion. We never, ever die, and that they are always still with us, even more than ever now. So there you go. And just so you know, the more that you consider them still with you, the more you will be able to feel their presence in your life. The more you consider them gone and dead, then it's harder for them to connect, because it's kind of low vibe. It brings it too low for them. They can't reach that lower vibration. But if you always keep them in your heart and know that they're alive, and you know that they're heaven is not far away, you guys. It's not up in the clouds. It's right here. We are their heaven. They're with us all the time.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button for coughing. I coughed it. I apologize.
So that was really awesome of you that you did that. I hope you know that you helped her out so much in her time of need, that I bet you she's going to appreciate you for the rest of your life, forever. That's a really cool thing to do. And that makes me think that I've got a lot of really funny material for if you ever pass, Jara. So I'm going to show everybody your silly videos when it happens.
Why wait till
I could use some cheering up. I need a little positivity. I've been the messenger of death all week, and it does take its toll. A friend of mine, Karen from Australia, which I know you've both stopped in on her show on Fridays, at its new time at 4 p.m. Friday afternoons now. She of course, just like I just said, she chatted with Sonny on Facebook quite a bit, and he sang this. She was like, "Hey, have you ever heard the song Sonny by," I don't remember the name of the guy was. And his reply was him with that music in the background singing the song. And
I bet you I know which song it is.
Yeah. And I was being like stoic and trying to keep it together when I was talking to all of these people to explain and all that. I heard him singing, and I was like, oh,
let it out. Yeah, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it out. You can't keep it in. You will block your tear ducts, buddy, and that will hurt. So you gotta let it out.
So
some people think that when you let crying is a weakness, but it's not. No. People that cry, you are actually strong enough to cry. People that don't cry, you're not strong enough. They're the weak. That's the weakness. There.
Well, it depends on what it is. If you're crying because they got your order wrong at Taco Bell, well, maybe there's some other issues there. But a close friend's death, I mean, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to deal with. Like, even with the things that I deal with some of the gifts and some of the awareness that I have and that I've learned, it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't mean that I don't grieve them because I know they're here. I still grieve their life, their earthly life, because they're not the same. They are them, but they're not the same. On the other side, they're so much more on the other side. So I miss my mother. I miss them on the earthly plane,
Yeah.
But
because when I've been talking to people, we'll reach that level where it's like, I cannot stop crying, or, I can't even breathe, all these things. I was like, you knew Sonny pretty well, but I would be talking to these people that, damn well that his response to all of our responses would be like, don't you fucking cry for my ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He
was really cool. He smoked weed all the time on the show.
All the time.
On his podcast. Yeah, that's why I liked him. I only caught a few of those ones. But I did like his show. It was like really laid back. I loved it that way. That's the kind I liked.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen one of his shows.
Yeah, it was a little sporadic here this past year. A lot of people kind of were frustrated and kind of needed a break from the whole YouTube and all the time and trying to hustle guests for your show and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, at least especially in my circle, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a time out and all that. But Sonny was coming back to it. He had done a few shows, but he kind of got into a tussle with somebody there at his house and ended up getting a big old shiner. And he didn't want to do the show because he didn't want people to worry about him or, make fun of him or whatever. So we took a few weeks off of that. We were actually going to do a show this past Friday, but we didn't have a guest. He's like, I'm going to work on a guest for next week. And then we're definitely doing a show next Friday. And Saturday morning, I got the call.
I'm so sorry. Gosh.
Yeah,
he graduated. His job was done and he graduated. And he's
well. And that's what I've said to everybody I've talked to. It's like he ran the paranormal chop shop. We had people on that were we talk about death and ghosts and UFOs and cryptids and all that. He's got all the answers now to all
Now
those
he has
questions that
all
we
the
still have.
answers. He sure does.
Hmm.
Well,
But thank you for letting me post the GoFundMe on there, because
oh, for sure,
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it. For anybody out there, if you knew who Sonny was, if you're hearing for this for the first time, I'm sorry. But Deanna's having she's obviously having a tough time anyway. It's just from the whole, Sonny not being there thing.
Yeah.
But because she lives in California, and
Oh,
I guess it costs more to die there, I guess.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know.
I bet it
yeah,
does.
yeah. It costs more to do everything in California.
So she knew she had at least an idea of the bill, and she thought she had it under control, and then they started lumping in other things on top of it that she wasn't prepared for. So if you consider, I look at it because Sonny, even though everybody loved him and he would just do a show, kind of sporadically, or he had these famous Friday night shows, and people would like almost get into a fight where the best time was to be like on the panel. That meant you were guaranteed to get into the after party, because once the show's over, you're not live anymore.
Yeah.
We'd hang out till the sun came up. I couldn't
Oh,
tell you how many
cool.
sunrises I see coming up. We're just sitting there drinking and saying all the things that you would never say on a live broadcast.
Yeah.
But I always put it that I know times are tough on everybody money wise nowadays, but I would consider this the super chat that he deserves, because he never was monetized, even though everybody loved him, everybody watched the show and all that. Half of the stuff, because he didn't have the best filter in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So he never got monetized, and that was never his thing anyway. He just wanted to do an entertaining show and talk to people and stuff like that. So he never really pursued it that much. Because once you get monetized, then you feel, oh, yeah, I'm making a few bucks off of this, and now it's a job, which he didn't want. So he just wanted to kind of have fun with the whole online thing. So
I like it when people don't have a filter, because I think that's your true authentic self.
Right. I agree. I enjoy people just being who they are as well.
I love it. I don't care how anybody has to express themselves.
Right. And I like it when people aren't doing it just for the money, because you can, I don't know, you can tell. People aren't as engaging to me if they're doing something based off of trying to get money, or, rather than like them being just authentically like interested in something or something. Man, life is precious, isn't it?
It is. It's a gift, and it goes fast, you guys. It might feel like forever, but it goes fast.
It goes so fast. No, it does not. It's never felt like forever at all. It goes so fast. Like when somebody tells me something about something that's coming up, like in, I don't know, 6 months from now, I'm like, oh gosh, that's tomorrow. That's like tomorrow.
Yeah, it goes fast.
Yeah, time's going by way fast. I can't believe it's already March.
I know.
Insane. Oh, and Enzo. So I did look into the whole solar eclipse and the Nineveh thing. I Google mapped or Google Earthed the Ninevehs, and there's 7 of them. And yes, in fact, the path is similar. I don't know that they all lie exactly within the path of totality, but it's in the path, and it goes along the same like trajectory. I can't say that word. Trajectory. Thank you. And for some reason, I'm freezing over here.
Oh, you're
freezing.
freezing?
Not freezing.
Or
you are freezing.
Well, no, I'm just opening it up on this computer so I could see the chat. I'm gonna put this one big. I like to see us big. Hello, Jen.
Isn't working. That's fine.
Yeah, I was actually, I didn't realize it until today. I was watching a video about astronomical events for 2024, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize that solar eclipse in April here in the US, we're not going to have another one in the US for like almost 40 years, a total solar.
Really?
Oh, wow.
we might have like a partial that like catches the corner of the country somewhere during that time, but that's going to be the last total actually in the US for quite some time. So
Wow.
highly encourage people check it out.
Yeah.
Does NASA do they keep track of like past like paths like of past eclipses? Do you
Probably.
think?
And it's probably
Oh,
not
yeah.
hard to find it.
Because I wonder, like, in the past, if there's ever been, I wonder if there's ever been another solar.
Oh yeah, you gotta mute.
I wonder if
yourself.
there's ever been another solar eclipse that has gone over 7 of the same city names in 7 separate states. Even
I wonder.
like not even if it's
I don't
considering
know.
the whole biblical significance. I just wonder if that's ever happened. Because I asked ChatGPT, I was like, "Yo,
Yo,
Chat GPT." So I was like, if there were, you know, a solar eclipse and the path of the shadow or whatever was going to take the same path as like 7 cities that had the same city name that were all named after a city of biblical significance, would that be weird, or would that be of great like consequence, or whatever? Would it be an extreme coincidence? And Chat GPT was like, yes, it would be. That would be. Chat GPT was like, yep, that'd be weird. So I don't know. Guess it's weird, everybody, because it's in fact that's the way it looks to me. So
Well, I would think that there'd be some kind, I don't know how you would record check that, but they've been monitoring like eclipses and stuff like that for centuries. There's the famous story of
right.
Christopher Columbus had a astronomical book when he came over to the Americas in 1492, and they have the story here. On the 4th and final voyage, probably in like 1497 or 8, found himself in dire straits. He left Spain in 1502. He was forced to abandon 2 of his ships and finally had to reach to the last couple islands near Jamaica. And basically, people weren't going to help him, and they were trying to kill his people and stuff like that. And he's like, if you do not help me, I will block out the sun at noon today, or whatever time it was, because he had this book that, you know, had all that stuff charted out. And of course, you know, the sun went into an eclipse, and the locals were like, okay, we will fix your ship. We'll help you out. We will get you on your way, sir. So he basically tricked the locals, saying that he was going to take away the sun from them.
That's a good trick.
And that was in what 1504. So
that's a good story.
So they can track that for you know, a long time. They've been able to track that, because for all the thousands of years prior to that, all you did when the sun went down was feed the fire to keep the animals away and look at the sky. That's why you've got centuries and centuries worth of data on planetary alignments and all the stars and super accurate maps, because what else you got to do in the middle of the night?
Now I just need to go through all that data and see if that's ever happened before, because again, I just think that if to me, like, regardless of what you believe religiously or otherwise, like regardless of what shape you think, or regardless of anything at all, like if this is the case, then there is obviously something intelligent at play here. Yes. And obviously something is trying to give a sign or a signal or a message to certain people that intelligence understands that there's only certain people that will take it as a sign. So it's intelligently trying to communicate with other beings on this planet that it believes will understand like what it's saying. And I don't know, but everybody, isn't that like proof of some shit or something?
Are you trying to say proof of like God?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about this then? Because there's the possibility for this solar eclipse to stay on the eclipse for a little bit. There's a really big comet that's kind of swinging through the solar system right now. where we're not really going to be able to see it until later this year, like in the summer. If it, starts bubbling over and gets a really long tail so you can actually see it with the naked eye. During the eclipse, you might be able to see it since it's going to be total dark for 8 minutes or 9 minutes, whatever, however long the eclipse is. So it's going to be like nighttime in the middle of the day, and you'll be able to see that in the sky as well. So maybe depends on, that's the thing with comets, is you never know how big they're going to, how big of a show they do until they get close to the sun. Cause it's like a dirty snowball, except this particular one is bigger than like Mount Everest, but this one, and as it gets closer to the sun, frozen gases that are on the surface start heating up from the sun and they start bubbling off, and they've got, dirt and dust and, probably rocks and stuff like that, mixed in with all the rubble that's making up this big dirty snowball kind of an idea. So it all bubbles off, and that's what makes the big long tail behind it stretching off through space, which of course it gets, reflected by the sun and all of that. So it's really, really bright. I don't remember if a couple dozen years ago when Hale Bop circled around.
Yeah, we saw it because we saw it really good from Flagstaff. Do you remember, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
That was a really big one. Way better than Halley's Comet back in 1986. That one was like, I'm looking at the area of sky. I know where to look, and I still don't see it. But Hale Bop,
I feel like we saw that one too.
Sorry. I just had a weird thought.
Or what?
I don't know.
Hear it. We want to know.
No, I don't know. I don't know. It was about, I don't know.
Okay.
It was a weird thought. Sorry, it was about electromagnetism and gravity, and I was just wondering if, like the magnetic field of the Earth has something to do with us sticking to the ground, even more so than gravity, and if like when the poles do that shifty thing, if that's when we're gonna start floating around, maybe because I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. No, the electric. There is a thing called the electric universe theory, which it's one of those things that some people, that was more of a like early 1900s kind of an idea. And a lot of people kind of poo-poo on it now, but for a long time, people were considering it pretty serious. Basically, it was all the planets kind of have a charge. The sun has a charge. Comets that come in is kind of like the other thing, have a different charge, and it may affect the magnetic field of like the whole solar system and individual planets as it goes by and things like that. So, well, I mean, like I guess I should say like everything has a charge, like a positive, negative charge, and like a giant magnetic field, and those can be greatly affected by things outside of it, like the sun and all that. But since then, we've had a lot of pretty good data on the magnetic fields for other planets in our solar system and the sun, and that's not exactly the case. But because one of the ideas for that, because not all of our like planets, because even our own planet, we're not, the Earth is pulling out the globe. We're getting serious.
I want a globe like that.
Is because even our globe, I mean, it spins around. Actually, it spins around this way. And it's not exactly, I'll have to use my other monitor. It's not exactly straight up and down as it goes around the sun. It's actually tilted by like 23.5 degrees, which this was probably exaggerated. You ever notice if you see a globe at school or you see one at the store, it's not straight up and down like that. It's like that. That's why. It's that 23.5 degrees. That's actually how we have, the northern hemisphere has winter while the southern hemisphere has summer, because I'll use my own lighting to illustrate. If our sun's over here, you can sort of see the shadow line here on the Earth. Whatever side is pointed away from it. So like in this case, the southern hemisphere, I'm exaggerating the tilt. The southern hemisphere is getting the direct rays of the sun, coming in and hitting here below the equator first. So that's when it's summer in the southern hemisphere, and it's hitting at a much shallower angle in the north. So that's when it's winter up here. You're not getting direct sunlight because it's hitting like right here. And when it rotates around to where it's the other way, where you've got your equator down here where the northern hemisphere is more exposed, that's when it's summer here and winter down here. So my friend Karen in Australia is coming out of her summer right now. So actually, one of their hotter days is usually Christmas Day because that's the middle of their summer. So
That's a trip.
strange as that is to think about.
Yeah, it'd be weird to have Christmas in July.
Yeah, that would be weird.
That would be weird. Weird.
Yeah. So what was a highlight from your week this week, Jara?
Well, I was sick. Oh, actually, so I'm getting better now. That's a highlight, I guess. But highlights. I don't really say I would have highlights these days, Susie.
Did you have a belly laugh?
I always have a belly laugh about all kinds of stuff. My highlight was my cousins, I guess, would be
There
my
you
highlight.
go.
That counts as this week, even though it was last week. So I'm gonna use
Yeah,
that.
you can use that.
I got to spend time with my cousins. That was awesome. I don't get to see them very often, and I plan to see the ones that live here more often because that's kind of sad that I don't see them as often as I could because they live here. And then I would like to. I don't know. It'd be super cool to like go to the Grand Canyon with my cousins or something. That would be super awesome. Because we have a lot in common. My cousin Jessie and I are very similar. And so she like she's always looking at the sky and the clouds and the rocks and stuff like that, just like me. Yeah, we're like two peas in a pod. And she says big ol', just like I do.
Big old.
Big ol'.
Got a big old
Big old tree.
Let me take a moment to introduce my sister. Hi, sis.
What's up?
Whoa!
What's up, you guys?
A nice galaxy behind you there.
I love it. I love that galaxy behind you. I would leave that up all the time.
It kind of gets a little busy every now and then.
Yeah.
Stuff
I'd
starts
go
flying
check it out,
around.
but my ride's in the shop, so I can't really go check it out. So it's
I want you guys to see the beginnings of one of my trees. It's the
Yeah, I wanna
beginnings.
see that.
It's the beginnings of a tree.
She's making a
Oh,
wire
okay.
tree.
I'm making
Oh,
another
those
one.
are really awesome.
They're really cool.
I've made like kind of a lot, and I have a lot of beads now. My dad is so he's making the solid copper cylinder. It's pretty
He's
cool.
making it.
Yeah, and he's also still growing copper crystals, and there's a lot of silver.
And it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, he's taking an ingot that's mixed silver and copper, and then he puts it in copper sulfate, and he's growing copper crystals on
Copper?
copper crystals. Oh, and then my brother just
big old crop.
made. Yeah. Oh, my internet keeps going out. Maybe I should
Why?
just come over there. I don't know.
Yeah, we can't. Your video's frozen on my end
Yeah,
at
but
least.
she can
where
still hear you.
I'll
I
come
I
over.
can hear you great, but I just can't see the tree that you're making.
I like it like this when we're both like that.
So my brother made a survival stove, and I took video of it or whatever. I'll try to put it on here. It's
What's your
super
survival
cool, man.
stove?
And so he welded this thing together, and it like fits a piece of wood. So you put the piece of wood in there, and then it has like a little vent thing or whatever, so that the air goes in, and then it shoots up. The fire shoots up this chimney thing, and then he made a grate that sits on top, so it's for cooking, right? But the fire is contained because the wood. It's still awesome. My brother's a genius.
They are your
He
brother
is
and your
so,
dad.
like a genius.
They can fix anything and do anything.
It's so, and it has these little vent, like his little vent door is so cute because he made like a little handle with little, like you just got to
He's so he has one of those things where he can make knives. Like what is it called again?
a forge.
A forge.
Oh yeah, he made his forge. It looks like a guillotine.
It
It's
does.
beautiful. It's huge.
It's a beauty.
Yeah. brother's
Does
like
he?
super
So does he smelt his own ores and stuff and all that stuff?
My dad does the smelting. My brother does all the. He's welding. My brother does welding and he does something. I don't know what he does. He was making a blade that he was going to try to press 1,000 pieces of metal into one blade.
It's pretty cool. His work. It's like art. It's really cool.
He's like super.
He's really good at it.
Advanced.
And yeah, at Jara's mom and dad's house, there's just like bars of silver and
Oh yeah, we have all kinds of bars of metal and all kinds of wire. And yeah, my dad made a wire stripper, so he just has all this parts and reclaimed parts that he's like taking apart things. And I don't know, I'm thinking that we need to start some kind of a family business or something.
You should, because they're amazing. Your brother and your dad, they're like I've been watching your dad like be amazing forever.
Yeah, if you like, I don't know, if stuff goes down in the world and y'all need like a place where you can survive because there's all kinds of everything and we got you, you gotta come to my mom and dad's house. We got you.
Well, her little tree brings up my highlight of the week. I have found a place to sell my artwork and goods and Jara's. So I'm going to be doing that here. If anybody's local, come check out the Metaphysical Fair on April 6th here in Peoria. And not only that, but I found a place to put together groups for the community, for maybe people that can't pay for a session, to come to a group and have a session with a group. So I'm making a safe place for people to come and
that's cool.
Yeah.
Can you do group weight loss sessions?
I am going to do great.
You should.
Great.
We can.
You should live stream that. I could use that too.
My biggest one is going to be group hypnosis for past life regression, and I think it's going to be hella cool. But I'm gonna do.
How do you do group for past life regression?
Because you do it a quiet one.
Oh.
Where you don't ask, they just have their own experience, and then they
Oh.
Yeah. But and not only that, yeah, I'm gonna do lots of group hypnosis. But I'm also gonna do coaching stuff, like times are hard, like you were saying, and there's things people are grieving, stuff like that. I want to help people learn ways that stress can be helpful, and how stress makes you grow, and help people learn and give them tools to get through adversities. Because
sorry.
If I could learn it, anybody could learn it. Believe me. It's an amazing feat that I learned emotional control, because I didn't even know there was such a thing. So I want to just help people get that. So it's going to be really fun, and I'm so excited for it. And that's my highlight of the week.
And I just want to teach people how to kick ass and technique.
I'm just sitting here chewing gum and kicking ass, and I'm all out of gum. I don't think that's how you say that, but
I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass. And all
Yeah.
Look at your outside window, and so it matches mine.
That's cool. You guys are in the same spaceship.
catching up to you.
That is freaking cool, you guys.
Might have to turn on the wipers though. It's getting a little cloudy.
You're a little foggy over there.
Put some
So,
Star X
did
on.
anybody listen to the address? The state? What was it?
Yeah,
couldn't-
just
it's
finished.
making
That's
me
what made
mad,
me come
so
over.
I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't do it.
I know,
I
I
watched
don't
like a few minutes and then he starts yelling and getting mad and get the vein in the head. And it's like, I'm done.
I watched
I
the
don't
whole
know how he
thing.
started out where he did though.
I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame.
I thought it would be worse, but I mean, it was bad, but I thought it would be worse.
It was bad, but
Well,
Oh, okay.
he had it, all right there. He just had to slow down so he could read it.
I wonder like what would happen if they just announced that they're gonna stop killing people.
Mm-mm.
Like nobody anywhere will kill anybody anymore. Like
I think that I don't know.
I think what do you think people would do?
I think that's a toughie, but I think that it's possible someday
Isn't it sad
when-
that it's not a real thing, that they're not going to do that? Isn't
No,
it
I know,
Well,
but
there's-
one day we can hope for a higher consciousness, a worldwide higher consciousness where people don't do that shit. Basically, I think.
We could all
It's
be
possible,
having
guys.
a party, guys.
Yeah,
We
use
could all
that
be
use
having a
that killing
party.
energy to do something else, like party or give hugs.
We could have a giant crap session
I don't-
or something.
Until we can get like Star Trek levels of technology, I don't think that's going to happen. Until you
Well-
can have like your replicators that can make you anything you want, or a ship that you, if you really don't like living where you're at, you can go have your own planet somewhere else. You can go hang out there, do your own thing.
Maybe, hey, maybe maybe that could happen. Maybe that's happening. Maybe the planet will split and all the assholes will go to one, and the good people will stay on the other. Maybe, just maybe.
That would be.
Oh,
man.
jeez.
Well,
World,
if-
what a
well,
world.
of course you would assume, everyone assumes, well, I'll be on the nice guy part of the planet, but then
Yeah.
who would work at the DMV? Because they're all assholes there.
All right.
I would work there. I'd work there.
Well, maybe on that Earth, we don't need a DMV.
Oh,
There you go. Haha. Tap that.
Because
these
nobody's
are
allowed
magical
to
replicators where you don't need money or anything else. It's just whatever you want, you just tell the machine, it makes it for you.
Maybe on that Earth, the currency is vibration.
You know what is really the suckiest thing is like, if you didn't have money, you can't even like just try to make your own everything, because that's probably against the law. You can't do that either. It's like you can't, you know what I mean? You have like you can't just go and just pick a place and just live there. Like I can't just go take my tent and like live in the Grand Canyon or just plant food on the side of the road or whatever. I would get in trouble for that. Like you can't
Right.
do. So it's like you have to play by their rules, and you can't just go do your own thing
I don't know.
because you're not allowed to do that.
Can you or can't you?
You're not. Well, you can. You might get in trouble if you get caught.
I don't know.
You
I
can't
like-
even have a baby without registering your baby with the system. You have to make your baby a cog in the wheel, or you're in trouble.
Yep.
I like to consider myself a free spirit.
We are free spirit.
Yeah, I don't always play by the rules.
I do. I super.
I'm not
I
afraid.
don't like-
I'm not
I don't
afraid at
like
all.
breaking
I'll
rules.
vouch for that one. She doesn't play by the rules. I'll vouch for that one. Susie doesn't play by the rules.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a rule breaker, unfortunately. Dang it. Wish I was.
Yeah, me, I am
I don't,
breaking the law.
I don't like it. Trouble.
Don't tell me what to do.
You
Yeah,
tell me
it's
what to
true.
do.
Even if you bought like 500 acres out in the middle and just put your stuff in the middle of it, there'd still find out. You'd still have to pay property taxes on it and
Right.
all that other. There's always something going on.
Right.
Then some ass 10 years later is like, where you decide we're going to build a highway right through the middle of your thing, eminent domain. You can't do anything about it. It's like,
Right. I wonder what they would do if somebody just had babies and like didn't register them. Like, is that technically against the law? Like, is there something that says you have to?
I mean,
I never
you
paid
couldn't
for my
claim
baby.
them. You couldn't claim them on your taxes. You couldn't
Right.
claim them for any kind of like
Who said
financial
we're paying
support or whatever. If anything like that was- you'd have to register them for school, which means they exist. Which then they'd ask,
Well,
wait a minute,
would you
who's
have
this
to
person?
go? What if you homeschool them?
If you're homeschooling, then I guess technically no. But at some point, unless your kids are going to stay there in your happy hippie commune in the middle of the 500 acres we just talked about,
That's what I'm talking about. Now we're
Why
talking-
not?
now we're
Then-
talking.
and never leave, then okay, I guess you can probably get away with
You're
that.
tempting me. That sounds great. To go somewhere and never leave.
It might be worth it. I don't know, because then you wouldn't be a part of the system,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Might be
Finish
worth
it
it.
all the way around. I vote.
I
What'd
don't
you
know.
say?
We do the shots all the way around. That's the way to bring everybody together. Let's get a glass with some ice and let's pour that sucker. Okay.
Let's
everybody's
have
got
a shot around it.
Oh, I only have a tea right now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna I'll be right back.
Okay.
Going to the table.
I got you covered. I
okay.
got it ready.
Okay, just pour a little. Just a wait. Where are you? Over here. Just a
Oh,
little.
you went. Your arm went
Okay,
into the
thank
next dimension.
Oh, you're supposed to drink
Okay.
out there.
Okay. Got it.
That's-
Got it. That's enough. That's enough.
I got day drunk today.
Oops, wait, what is that?
It was pretty
Got
good.
day
You know
drunk today. It
Yeah.
was the occasion. It was daylight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just having a drink with a friend. So that was fun. You
I
never know
haven't
when
done
that'll
that in
happen.
a long time.
That's
Oh,
my favorite.
long.
I think it went out.
I found that because I used to drink like just on like a Friday or Saturday night, and that was it. And when I was watching like a particular TV show on the Friday or Saturday, something like that, or I was on a live stream, especially those Friday nights over at Sunny's at place. But I found now that I only drink like when I'm here, when I'm on a live stream, hanging out with other people is the only time when I actually drink. Because I was going to pour myself a drink the other night because like I could really use a drink after the last couple of days I've had. And I sat down, I took like 2 sips. And it's like, I don't even want this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't drink
Social
as much as I do either. I used to drink a lot. I used to only not drink on Wednesdays. But now I hardly drink. Maybe once a week. But things happen. People change.
Right.
It's a rookie numbers. Need to work on it.
Sister,
Did
did you have a highlight in your week?
Oh no.
Okay.
Um,
That's my sister. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's
Let me
this moment
about
right now. This is the highlight of the week.
No, I didn't have like a huge highlight. I've been having some private live streams that are going really great.
There
You
you
know,
go.
we're spilling the tea and it's been fun. That's been fun to do, but I've been kind of preoccupied myself over here. So, and then Sunny's bad news on, Saturday.
Yeah, that was bad for everybody.
So, but I still did the show on Sunday because I had guests on and everything. So the show must go on. More now than ever, now that I've got paying customers.
That's so cool, sister.
That's neat.
Your nephew thinks you're amazing. He's so happy for you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know he thinks Auntie Nikki is like the best thing that ever happened in the world.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he always tells me how great she is.
It is pretty great.
The funniest time was this one time he was hungry, and I was cooking. I guess it was taking forever, but he's all, Auntie Nikki makes dinner so fast.
Woo, he lets you have it.
You did. I was all, well, Auntie Nikki's not here.
That's funny.
I know he's a good kid.
He's just a bird on
He says he says things that are so adult, like little sayings. Like one time we were just chilling, talking, me and him and Jara, and we were talking. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but he's like, I'd like to be a bird.
Oh no! I told him. I said we should do a little segment where we do like talking with Timmy, where we just ask him questions and things like that. And he's like, "I'd like to be a bird on a wire."
I'm like, we didn't know what that was really, and then we were like, "You mean like a fly on the wall?"
I'm gonna be a fly.
It is a saying.
It is a saying, huh? The bird on the wire thing.
I always say sayings wrong. I use it wrong.
I do too. I say them all the way wrong.
Super bad. A lot.
Sweet tea. It's like me. I was spilling the sweet tea then.
You're a tea spiller.
Wait, what?
Tequila shots. Woo.
Ooh.
Haven't done
Spilling
that.
the
in a
tea
while.
on your member
Who
streams.
said tequila shot?
Oh, I was just reading the comment.
Oh,
Tequila.
yeah, that's what I had today. I had a margarita.
We had a
strong
lot
one.
of those in high school, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I think I got all my tequila out of my system.
The cheap tequila too, and it wasn't even the good. I don't know. I don't know how we did it.
Remember that Purple Passion?
Does anybody remember Purple Passion?
Yeah.
Nobody. No, yeah. It wasn't a
What was the pink one called? I forgot.
Done in a bathtub. I remember one time it was done in a bathtub.
Oh, are you talking about
Jungle
Kind of
juice?
like jungle juice.
Jungle juice?
But
Yeah.
it was purple. It was the purple one.
Oh, it was probably Purple Passion. I
Yeah.
love that shit. I wish I could find some right now.
Oh,
Purple
that gave you the worst headache the next day, though. It
Yeah,
was
they did.
bad
What was the
headache.
other one? Zimas or is that what
Oh,
they
do you
were?
remember
Zimas.
I
Yum.
Yeah.
I would love a Zima. What about Mad Dog 2020?
Or
Mad
the
Dog's
juice.
mean wine. Oh, that was
like-
Thunderbird is the line. Yeah.
Gasoline or something. That's horrible.
prison toilet.
Gross. It
That
was
is.
so bad. It was so bad, and that would make me so sick too.
Prison toilet Kool-Aid.
Looking for something.
So it hailed at my house today.
It
Kiki
was
called
raining
me
here.
while it was hailing, and there was like hail flowing down my street.
Wow.
Yeah.
The southeast part of Kansas had a lot of. I have a bunch of friends that live in southeast Kansas, Caney, Kansas. I've mentioned it before, I'm sure. And I was watching on YouTube, and it's like Kansas, Oklahoma, severe weather chaser guy. I was like, okay, I'll click on this. They went through the town of Caney, Kansas, because there was a tornado spawning there. Like texting my friends, it's like, here, you may want to watch these guys. They're literally down the street from you right now.
What about the strange shit that's happening, like tornadoes happening where they usually don't happen? There was there one in Florida, and there was one in California too.
Yep.
Well, California was because they had that once every 100 years cyclone hit, right? Was it?
Oh yeah, that what was it called? The river. What is it called?
Oh,
Atmospheric river.
Yeah.
That was bad. The flooding in San Diego was outrageous.
That's crazy.
It was bad.
I was asking ChatGPT about different types of volcanoes because in Arizona we have the cinder cone volcanoes, and then also the Peaks is a strato volcano. So both of those are like super explosive. So I don't know. That just freaks me out a little bit that there's like so many volcanoes in Arizona, but they don't like really act like it. Like,
I know. Well, they
why
could
don't
go.
we act
They
like
could go. You never know. They could go at any time.
Right, I know. And like there's a spot on the Peaks that doesn't ever, like, the snow doesn't stay, it melts.
Oh yeah, that must be a
immediately.
hot spot.
It is a hot spot. My cousin said it's in the shape of a footprint, like a footprint.
I tripped out on that one time.
But that's like, so that's a lot of volcanism. That's a lot of volcanism, guys.
Dude, well, they took us on a freaking field trip down into the lava tubes. Like,
I know, right?
yeah.
Wow. Cool.
I was freaking
cool.
scared,
It
dude.
was cool.
I had to hold somebody's hand.
It is so dark in there, you can't see anything. I got lost.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I
I
got
had
to
to
do that.
I went
I was
3
in the
times.
same school system, so
You
we all
what?
did.
You don't like going underground?
Did
I
that.
didn't like it, man. And then, okay, well, number one, I'm afraid of the dark. And so they take you all the way into the deepest part of the cave. And then they have everybody turn off their flashlights so you could see what darkness really is.
Right, and I fell, and I got
I
lost.
I know what darkness is. Every night I close my eyes and sleep. I'm familiar. I got it. That
There's
sounds cool,
one-
though. I'd love to go on that.
There's those one caves in Kentucky, Mammoth Cave. I was looking at that when I was on Google Earth. or
Those go
whatever.
on for hundreds
Yeah,
of
they do.
miles.
That's like 85 miles. That's a long ways in to be in somewhere, you know? Like, and I don't know. That just makes me feel like I can't breathe.
I know, I don't like it. I don't take me in a cave. No.
I'm like, I feel like
Have you ever been to the other ones? Caverns, the Carlsbad Cavern?
I have,
Yeah.
but I don't remember them. My mom took me there. Michelle used to live there when we were babies.
Oh, wow. Shut up. Are you serious?
Mhm. Yeah, I wanted, and they have those one caves in Mexico where they have those giant crystals that are like giant, like the size of like.
It's super hot down there.
Yeah, I heard that. That would be neat to see, but
That would be
man,
neat
it'd be
to see.
scary to go into the like in.
I love
You know?
amaretto sour. Amaretto sours.
I don't like caves.
And then I was
Oh,
looking
he
at
is out there. I didn't
Petra,
see him.
a lot of Petra that hasn't even been discovered yet. It's still
Petra.
buried, the ancient city that's carved into the rock. Yeah,
Looking
it's
for
still
something.
there's a lot buried still. I'm like, why aren't we on that? Let's get on that. Like, shouldn't we get on
Right
that?
now.
There's probably
Yeah.
something important in some.
They don't want to. What is that, sister? I thought it was a baby. Like I thought it was a sonogram for a second.
On the International Space Station.
Yeah, it's a spacewalk.
Yeah,
How come
there's
you
the
can't
astronaut
see
right
stars?
there.
Yeah, how come there's no stars?
How come you can't see stars like when you're in space, but you can see
Well,
them
Well,
from
because
Earth?
you got lights. You
You-
got to have darkness to see.
Oh,
Yeah,
them.
it's and that's the same reason why you don't see him in any of the moon pictures or anything like that. Is you've got this bright white reflective surface, and you can't. It's the same reason why you can't see so many stars where you're in the city versus out in the country. Light pollution.
But you
It's
think you'd be able to see some stars, like
you
there's not
that
any.
it's not like that's not like a super duper camera either that they're
Right.
using.
The
It's
minute they have the camera on that's facing the outside, you can see the stars. But this one that's right there inside that door, that where they work out of, you can't see anything.
What
used
is
to
that
have.
supposed to be? Wait,
This
Did anybody
fixes-
watch that movie? Oh, shit. Spaceman?
hmm?
The new
Yes,
movie
I finally
Spaceman?
got through it
Oh, I
last night.
haven't watched. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I
Yes.
watched it.
Was it good?
Okay, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say you need
I
to
liked
watch
it.
it.
I mean,
Damn
yes
thing.
and no.
You watch it.
What is it
It's good.
on?
You should watch it. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's got Adam Sandler and a giant ass
Oh.
spider in it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it with Adam Sandler. I like Adam Sandler.
But it's not a funny movie.
No, I know. It didn't look funny. It's
If
a
you,
one man or one of those
pull up
one.
that-
Ow.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
If you pull up that
Oh, right
picture
there.
I'm sharing, we'll look at that
Oh.
cave you were talking about with the giant crystals because they
Ooh,
are
ooh.
giant.
Yeah, they're huge. They're like skyscrapers. They're like buildings.
Well, okay. I would like to go into that one.
Whoa, that's somebody's eyeball.
It's
Look
Ew.
at
Oh, it
that.
does
you
look
see
like
the
that,
guy
though.
standing there with those giant crystals there.
Yeah.
I've even
It's
seen a
also
picture
like
that's bigger than that.
That's freaking cool, you guys.
Yeah. Wow, look
those
at
are
that.
all crystals growing out of the
geode.
walls
Is
and
that all
ceiling. and
selenite or
everything.
what kind of crystals are those?
That is crazy. That's like a giant. He's like inside of a geode, basically. A
Pretty
giant.
much.
Oh my god, it makes me feel happy.
Huh? That is awesome.
It's
good for
also hot as hell in there. Look at this guy.
Oh, I bet.
Is that why they
wow.
what?
Cool.
That's quartz crystal.
That is so
It's-
cool. That is so
it's-
healing.
It's
Huh.
like
Yeah, that's
120
like
degrees
Oh,
plus.
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
I don't notice the heat because it keeps healing me.
Yeah, he's not even feeling it.
Right? Dang. Like Superman's dad lives there.
Yeah. Oh shit.
It does look
I
like the
love
Fortress of Solitude. Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. That's awesome.
I
Look
don't know
at
if there's
those.
any other pictures there, but yeah,
I
that's
wonder if that's why you see how they look like obelisks, like in their net. I wonder if that's why they make that shape.
I have quite a collection of crystals.
Do they naturally like? You know what I mean, like the obelisk.
Yeah,
Is that-
they naturally form like that. But this is what she was
Obviously.
calling. Look at this cool ass one I got.
That is crazy.
oh,
I
look at
wonder-
that.
Sitting on a pokey one. Let
I forgot what it's called.
me see. Yeah, that's I don't have no idea.
I forgot.
That isn't. That is
There's
an obelisk.
yeah, I love them. I love my crystals. They're awesome to me.
Hmm.
This is my favorite one.
We should grow some crystals.
Oh, look at
We
that.
should grow some.
The amethyst.
It's as dumb as it sounds. I was back when I had cable. the Weather Channel used to play these like little mini segments of this TV show. It was only like 20 minutes an episode when like in the middle, and they'd still have like the weather stuff on the outside. But it was these guys that would go out in the Rocky Mountains and find crystals like that. They'd basically just digging around in the dirt, or they'd find an old cave, and they had these monstrous spiny looking structures they'd pull out of the ground. It's like, that's just
I watch this guy on TikTok dig them up all the time. They're really cool. I can't catch any light right here though.
I want to go. There's like so many.
Wait, let me catch some light.
Oh,
They're gonna shut down TikTok, so you better use it while you can.
Yeah, why are they shutting TikTok down?
I know. I'm so glad I don't like,
because it's owned by the Chinese and they don't trust that guy, so they're trying to make him sell TikTok, the American part, or that part to an American or something.
Well, hopefully.
Basically,
I don't want.
They're stealing everyone's personal data that you put in there, and they're not. So even though their contract says they're not, they have proven several different times where they are.
Are they using it?
To collect data on Americans? Yes.
Well, right, but I think that isn't everybody. I don't know. I feel like aren't we all? Isn't everybody probably doing that to each other? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if we're on that.
There's rules. There's rules about using it. Like we're using. We're here on YouTube right now, and we've all had to make an account, and we've got our name and our address and blah 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 blah. They can only use that in-house for like research purposes. Maybe there's more people that use it in this part of the country than this part of the country, or this age range and things like that. They can use it within their company. That's fine. They can't take that same information and sell it to someone else to use it for other purposes.
Right.
Which
and
they
are selling it.
The Chinese, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just basically when it comes to China and like international law and copyright law and stuff like that, they do not give an F. They steal everything. All these companies the last 20-30 years that have like, oh, it's super cheap to open up a factory in China. Okay, here's the plans on how we make our new Ford or Chevy or Toyota or Jeep or whatever it is, or electronics and stuff like that. And within a year, there's an exact clone of it with Chinese branding being sold for half that price right across the street. And there's nothing they can do about it.
So for like the average people though that use TikTok or whatever, what kind of information is China getting, and what are they doing with it?
Well, that's part of it is they know everything about you. They know where you live, they know what you eat, they know they know
how much I spend at Lucky Land slots.
They only know what people tell the internet.
And you and I would not use our real stuff in there, but a lot of people don't, especially if they've got money coming in. So now they got to tie their bank account in or some kind of, money thing tied into it and all that stuff. The other thing is if you go to China and pull up TikTok in China, the front page is covered with, scientific papers and, things like that. Here, it's just straight debauchery. It is because that's what they're pushing, because it's mostly kids that use TikTok, and they push the craziest shit at kids, so they grow up freaking crazy, thinking the world really is this wacky, crazy place and all that. And they fake all of their followers. I was like, you can't tell me some 16-year-old that doesn't know it and just sitting on there like playing a guitar or just making stupid jokes or whatever has hundreds of thousands of followers. They don't. Those are all fake.
That's why you got to teach your kids not to take everything literally, take everything with a grain of salt. Don't believe in the internet.
Yeah, that's why you got to teach your kids.
We shouldn't believe in the internet. The internet should be used for as a tool, just like a pencil or whatever, and not as a knife to stab your friend with.
Right.
like as something to rob a bank with, or it should be used as
Yep.
a tool, and it should I mean, it can be used for entertainment, but like people need to not put their faith in it and then get upset when they're disappointed
When shit's all
or
crazy.
they're robbed or something goes wrong, because you're putting your faith into something that's fake.
Right.
At the end
But
of the day.
you're the big issue with what you just said, because I agree 100%, is you're asking the parents to actually parent their children, which a lot of
Right,
people don't
yeah.
have time for nowadays. So.
You should see how those girls are dressed on there.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous.
On where? On TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't even like.
Stop talking about me, sister. Like I'm not here.
No, your TikToks are just about giving people what do I always tell you? Epileptic seizures. Because
yeah.
you do all the weird
Yeah.
all our videos are like
I love it. I have 3,000 followers, and they're real people.
Well, it's good. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like an old person because I'm not good at social media. So
I haven't even looked lately.
I don't even know. I feel bad because she always sends me stuff, but I don't ever go on TikTok. So like, I don't ever get the things because I don't go on TikTok. I guess I need to go on it more often, but I already have like too many things I feel like I need to do, and there's never enough time in the day. That's my problem. I need more minutes or hours or something. Like,
just don't sleep as long. That's what I've been doing.
Well, I mean, I can't sleep any less. I already sleep only like 5-6 hours at the most a night.
That's all I sleep.
Yeah. Well,
I used to sleep a lot less.
I can't sleep more than that because I feel like I'm more tired if I sleep like more hours than that. And I get up when my body wakes me up, because that way I can stay up. Like, I'm less tired if I get up when I wake up naturally. If I go back to sleep and then have to wake myself up, I'm like all groggy. So I just get up when I wake up.
For the last year, I'm in a good place now, better than I was. But like during all the lockdowns and stuff like that a couple of years ago, I had the wackiest sleeping schedule where I would like fall asleep for like 3 hours, wake up, be awake for like 10 or 11 hours, and then take like a 2-hour nap, and then be awake, and just do that cycle. Just like 3 hours here, 2 hours there. And I did that for nearly a year.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that if it works for your body. I don't know. I think listening to your body is smart. So
right.
You know,
but
I think
it made it difficult for like going out and like interacting and with people and stuff like that.
Yeah, everybody was like really, really messed up during that time, because I was too.
Yeah. Well, and everybody goes through different periods too, like in your life, you know, like as a kid, I remember we used to stay up all night, like all the time as kids, like all the time. My daughter's never done that.
Well, me and my sister, we get bouts of really bad insomnia.
Yeah, I've had that. I do that. I used to. I don't anymore. That hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I used to be like that in college. Oh, I would cry. I would be so tired, but I couldn't fall asleep because I was stressed out. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Tell me the story of the funniest, drunkest time that you've ever had.
The funniest?
Yeah, the funniest drunk time.
Funny for who?
Or one of your favorites.
Funny for who?
One of your favorites.
Favorite?
Want me to start? Okay, I'll start. So I think it was a couple of Christmases after my mom passed away, and we all went to my sister's house, and all the adults in the house got so wasted, dude. My dad, me, my sister, my husband, her friends, and just the kids were just chilling. And it was the best. It was my favoriteest time ever. We were all so drunk. My dad was so drunk, and so was I. And my dad kept giving us more and more and more. And then the next day, Dad didn't wake up till really late.
Tequila. We had like 4 bottles of tequila. They were all gone. All of it.
Wow.
Yeah. They even moved from tequila to whiskey. Do you remember that? Whiskey shot?
I don't remember, but yeah, I'm sure.
My
Oh man,
best
and
friend
Dad wouldn't wake up the next
usually
day. We're
has to
all
walk her to the bathroom to help her throw up.
yeah.
One
I
of
was
those-
and
Hold your
her
hair.
friend was. I was like, you still look pretty. You're still just as pretty as can be.
It was bad.
That's funny. Oh, yeah, I can't say that my family's ever done that.
It's great. I suggest. I highly
Well,
recommend
actually,
getting
I
drunk
think
with your
that
dad.
people did do that at Jamie's wedding, but I wasn't there for that.
Oh, you didn't go to your
I
brother's
heard
wedding?
about. No, I was at the wedding, but I left, or like I didn't stay for everybody, and I didn't drink then. So, I don't know. I can't say that I would eat. I would put drunk with fun because I've had
Really?
well, yeah, but that's because I've had a different experience with alcohol. I don't drink, guys, because alcohol and I don't go together anymore. So yeah, I don't associate drinking.
I'm trying to think. I don't remember.
Really.
I know that we got drunk together before.
Oh yeah, lots of times.
Yeah.
Well, there was funny times in. I guess that time that Michelle peed on
Cable couch. Oh God, that was so
funny.
funny. Yeah, one of my friends. We were all sitting watching a movie at my boyfriend's house at the time. We were being good kids, right?
Well,
We were. Yeah. We were watching a movie, and it was so cool. And then we had put my friend Michelle to sleep in the room because she got drunk. And then in the middle of the movie, we're all into it, and then here she comes, eyes closed. And she's walking in right where we all were. She undoes her pants, pulls them down, sits on the couch, and starts peeing on it. And she even went like this. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was so crazy. We were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad.
That happened. It did.
Yes.
How about
Mine would have been probably Vegas the night. Actually, it was the origin story of the Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, I want to hear this.
do tell.
I back in those days, this was right when everything was starting to open back up after COVID. So that was what, 2022, I think, early 2022. And Dave Scott, who does Spaced Out Radio, I'd been watching his show a lot and hanging out in the chats and all that stuff. And he decided, it's like, you know what? I've been locked up in my house for like the last 2 years. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Las Vegas. And a bunch of other people was like, hey, what are you going to be there? We'll go too. And it sort of turned into a thing where he ended up doing a show there and the whole spiel. But anyways, so I knew a bunch of people that were going from the chat room. It was one of those, first time meeting them in real life kind of thing.
Cool.
They knew who I used to do his weekend show a few times. So with him and Big Willie and a couple others. But anyways, I go to that and I decided that this was going to be super cheapo times for me. Cause I've been to Vegas many times and always stayed in like fancy places and stuff like that. This was where he was doing the show and meetups at. We're all down at the Golden Nugget downtown on the old strip. And I was like, all right, I'm just doing the super touristy thing. I just went and bought a bunch of cheap off the clearance rack at Walmart Hawaiian type shirts and like khakis. And I bought the cheapest room I could get there for the hotel. All that. I was like, this is going to be an economy class trip for me. And a friend of mine who lives in Denver was like, hey, you're going to that thing, right? It's like, yeah. Can you pick me up? It's like, that's not on the way. Okay.
Road
but
trip.
anyways, yeah. 8 hours drive from my house to Denver, which is fine. 12 hours through the Rocky Mountains from her place at Denver to Las Vegas. Get there, we go out to dinner, we have like the El Cheapo steak and lobster joint places for like $8,
We like those.
Oh yeah, they're fun. And I was basically drinking from the minute I left my hotel room after taking a shower, washing 12 hours of road grime off of me from all that drive. Mm-hmm. And I had my cheap Hawaiian shirt on, which I'd brought, several. That was my intention, was to wear them every day. we're hanging out at the bar, we're drinking, you know, people start filtering off. And I remember I'd gotten up very early that morning and driven 12 hours. It got to be about like 1:30 in the morning. And the guy I was kind of like hanging around with, I was like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. He was actually talking to a hooker, which she admitted she was a hooker. And he's chatting her up for whatever reason. I was like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I come back to the bathroom and he's gone. I don't know where he is. So I'm looking around, and I see the girl he was talking to. So I just go over to the bar. I start talking to her. By now, it's like almost 2 a.m. Vegas changes after 2 a.m. The clientele that hangs out around the bars and the casino, they change after that time frame. A little different. And while I was like I was like, she's like, I don't know. He just like ran off. I remember when you said you were going to the bathroom and all that. I was like, huh, well, maybe I'll run a circuit around the gaming floor. Maybe he's out doing something. So I'm doing the circuit. While I'm doing the circuit, anytime I'd walk by any little like group of people, which there weren't as many. It was like on a Thursday night when we pulled in, and nobody's like playing games really. They're just kind of like hanging out in little clumps of 3s and 4s, and some ladies are very scantily clad. Their big bruiser friends are not, and looking very angry at anyone that walk by, kind of thing. Hookers and their pimps. And anytime I would pass these little groups, I'm like, hey, that's a nice shirt, buddy. I was like, I could tell after like the 4th time, it's like, okay, this is just being sarcastic now. This is literally I paid $8 for this, literally off the clearance rack at Walmart. This is not a nice shirt, and I shouldn't be getting this many compliments anywhere on the planet, much less Vegas at 2 a.m. So I circle back around to where the original hooker was, and I sat there thinking maybe he'll come back, he'll see her and come back, and because I didn't see the guy I was looking for anyways, the guy I was hanging out with. So we're just chit-chatting, this and that. And all these other hookers start coming around, and they're all trying to chat me up. They're like getting like right in my face. How are you? Where are you from? What are you doing in town? How long are you going to be here? What do you do for a job? Blah, 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 blah. All the million questions. Doing the hard sell at 2 a.m. on a Thursday to the rube in the Hawaiian shirt. And the whole time I'm like, okay. It got so bad they started fighting with each other. Who was like gonna talk to me or to try and land the whale? And I ended up finally, when it got to be about 3, it's like, all right, I gotta go. This is just too much. So I leave. I'm getting into the elevator to get into the cheap hotel side of the cheap elevator where my room was. And one of those girls was in the elevator already, had just come back down from visiting a room. And she sees me, she's like, I knew you'd be in this place. She's like, jumps up and is like hugging me and stuff. It's like, all right, I got to get out of here. This is way over the top.
You're like these knees.
I was fresh meat is what it was.
Really?
My goodness.
So I ran almost to my room at that point and like double locked the door. It's like, what the heck is going on around here? So after that, that's where the I'm gonna have to. This is fun. This was afterwards. It's like after I escaped safely, I was like, that was kind of fun. I'm gonna wear these shirts more often, and that's the origin story of the Hawaiian shirts all the time.
And they're quite popular now too. They're in. They came back.
Bringing it back, baby. I'm bringing it back.
My husband has a bunch of them. Yeah, he does. He does.
Our animal's gonna be my friend.
My cat is loving her. Watch, put it down a little bit so they can see her.
Saw her a second ago.
She like
Stripes
all
on
over
her.
Jara.
Like hugging me and rubbing her head on me and stuff.
She's in love with you. You are Dr. Doolittle.
I am. I think the birds are my friends too.
Aw. That's good.
Aren't you just loving me?
That's a good one.
huh?
I have some Vegas stories. Yeah. Oh, but we had a great time when we went to Vegas during COVID, huh, sister?
Oh, really? You had like
Yeah,
all the place
it
yourself?
was so cool.
We
Yeah, we
did.
had the place to
Yeah,
ourselves.
we did.
And
We had to
so
wear a mask and everything, but that I've never seen the places so clean ever.
yeah, so clean.
Wow.
They
Everything is
literally
done.
had people when when you're in the big hotels, you hold on to the railing for the escalators. They literally had a lady down there cleaning it the whole time.
And as soon as you would get up to the
You sit
machine,
there with a rag squirting it every
Yep.
once in a while as it
Uh-huh.
went underneath the rag.
Exactly.
cool.
Yep. It was cool.
I,
You
I
could
loved
go
it. I
to
thought that was the best.
any slot machine, and as soon as you get up, somebody would come and clean it.
Wow.
It was cool. I liked
Yep.
it.
Yeah, there were no lines for anything. We got to do all kinds of stuff.
That same trip was where this picture came from, now that I think of it.
Oh, hey, look at that money.
That's $2,400 off of that slot machine behind me.
Ooh, cool.
That's
Don't
always
you hate
nice.
that when you're on a machine, then you get up and then someone gets on it and it hits?
He's gonna get
Yes.
That makes me
Yeah.
mad. That happens to me a lot.
I'll have to admit too, I kind of prefer the older days, not that long ago in Vegas, where you actually had like the dollar tokens. So you had like
Oh.
this giant bucket of dollar tokens to have to go cash in and stuff like
You had
that.
to have that white glove so your fingers don't get all dirty from your coin.
That was our mom. I
Yeah.
used to like to see how dirty my fingers
But
were.
yeah, that little ching 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 when
Yeah.
it hits.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
That's all
Mhm.
fake.
Yeah.
It's
But I don't
fake.
care. I love them. I love it. I love them. I love slot machines. That's my favorite thing to do.
Me too. I don't know why. And it's one of those, it's like, I can tell immediately, like I'll do like a couple spins, like this isn't it.
That's
I'll
your
move on to
intuition.
something
Good
else.
job. Good
Yep.
job, Emma.
I was like, oh, this isn't the one, and I'll move up because I only play machines that have somewhere on the board on the spinner. It has like a wild card thing where it'll spin again or it'll move.
Yes,
or
like some
it
kind of
is-
bonus. Oh, I love those ones that pop up that like out of, that you think it stopped, but then it goes ding.
Yeah, one last
Yeah.
clunk.
And I love any of the ones that have the Wheel of Fortune because
Your
then
cat's
that's
a person,
exciting.
dude.
I love working the tables, but I can't afford to do it anymore. Back in the 90s, I could afford to go sit on the $5 and $10 tables. Now you're lucky if you ever see a $5 or $10 table. They've all upped the ante to $25.
Ah,
So you
That's
go
great.
to ante 25, and then the side bets, you're betting almost 70, $75 a hand. I can't do that.
oof.
We can see you. She went to go blow her nose, but we could see her.
Actually,
Well,
that
when you blocked you and you walked right by her earlier.
this was only like the maybe 9th or 10th spin on that machine. It was one of the higher, it was in the high roller thing. It was
Oh,
dollars spin, I think, or something like that. But yeah, I got because I originally got 2,000 something or other, and that's when all the lights started flashing, and they have to call for the floor manager and all that
Yeah.
because anything over
Oh, that's exciting.
2,000, I think, is they have to pay in
1,200.
cash at the moment. I still had money left on the machine that was over that, and by this time, of course, now I had a crowd of my friends that are all there for to see the Spaced Out Radio show, to include Dave Scott. Actually, Dave Scott was the one that took that picture, and so now I'm standing there, and everybody walks away, and everybody's like, and I'm like, wow, cool. But I've got, because you have to fill out a tax form, you have to give them your driver's license, you have to give them something else with your name on it. You have to do all these. So I have like 20 different pieces of paper and my wallet, everything else in my hand. So it's like, and I still had money on the machine. So I just started like hitting the, play all lines.
Yeah.
Just to get, because it was like $200 on the machine. I
That's
got
how you do it.
2,000 in my pocket. It was like 200 or some bucks on the machine. So I would just hit the all lines because I was like, this will be gone in like 3 spins. I can put all this fine, give me enough time to like put stuff in pockets and things like get everything sorted and all that. And I get everything sorted away. And every time it would stop, I wouldn't even look at it. I would just hit, all lines and I get done. And I look up at everybody who's now around me and they're all like, huh?
Were you
Looking at
winning
the machine?
more?
I was like, what? I look, it was up $600.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, what? I hit it like 3 more times. It got down to $400. It's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
Cash
Oh,
out.
I know when I'm gotta get out of there.
So a total of a little over $2,400 off of the same machine, which I
fun.
went later that night. I was telling somebody the story and we walked by for me to point at which machine it was mysteriously out of service.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
But got lucky. Took a core of my like 5 friends. We walked down the street to some kind of seafood type place, and I treated them all to dinner. So
That's nice.
Right,
it's
yeah,
like,
that
I
is
just
cool.
you just saw me won $2,400.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of a dick move not to treat everybody to dinner.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is you're the guy that you want to go gambling with.
Yeah.
Then.
Whenever I went gambling with my mom and she would win, she would split it. She would be sitting right by me. She'd win and she would give me half of it. She'd
I
just
would
get me
do
half
that.
of it. Yeah.
If I gambled with my kids, I could see me doing that with my kids.
Yeah.
But that was on the last day I was there. I had the 12-hour drive from there back to Denver the next night, and it basically it paid for everything. It paid for my hotel room, my gas. It paid for everything for that whole trip.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow.
One time I was flying home, like I had a weekend over there, and I was waiting for
Where
my
was it?
plane at Vegas.
Oh.
And I got dropped off at the airport, and I was waiting for my get on my plane, and they have machines there, and I won $500 at that machine at the airport, and I paid for my trip. It's like it never happened. I was like, yeah,
That's cool.
Yep.
yeah.
I would like something like that to happen to me.
I know, I loved it. I like the
Although,
airport ones.
I did win $10,000 once on an online casino before I went to work one
Oh,
morning.
fun! I had my online
The day
casino up
before
to
they
almost
made it
1,000.
Huh?
I had on my online casino because I play often. I had it up to 1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't even mess with those things. There's something. That's the other thing is I'll do slot machines. I don't do electronic ones. I don't. It has to be a spinning thing.
That's how I am. Yep. I
I
like that too, Enzo. I don't like those because the other ones, I don't know. They seem fixed.
never win on those old ones.
Although I will admit, while I was at that place, because that first night when I was there till 3 a.m. down in the bars, that was my early night. It was 5 o'clock the next night, and then it was well after 7. The sun was up when I went to bed the next night. But almost every night I was out there, at around like 2:30, 3 in the morning, the state board gamblers thing, whatever the board is, that where they'd go in, they're like, okay, I need to see this machine, that machine, this machine, and they'd have the little special key that would open up all the electronics, and they have a little digital thing to make sure they all were on par with what they were supposed to be. So they were on the up and up. I'll give them that there in Vegas. They're checking the stuff.
Yeah.
We're serious. For sure.
Yeah, I don't like gambling anymore. Really. I do.
I love it now.
Scratchers, just because I like scratching the scratchy stuff. But I don't know. I started thinking about the state lottery, and I was like, I don't know. Do you think people really win? Because I'm starting to wonder about that. What if they just collect the money and then like they're nobody really? Because we don't ever see.
I win. I'm a winner. I win all the time whenever I play.
I mean,
Yesterday, somebody won $1.2 million at the Ruidoso Downs up here in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Their first $1 million winner on $3.52.
Whoa!
Yeah,
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, Susie, I did take your advice last week when we were chatting. I don't even remember what the conversation was, but you're like, you need to go play the lottery. I went the very next day and I played the lottery and won exactly nothing.
Oh, that sucks.
Go
I won.
play again. You're gonna win this time.
Yeah, right. I'm a winner. I win all
You'll
the
win
time.
if you play again.
You work for the lottery commission. You're making me do this.
No,
Actually,
it's
the one
not.
I'd really like to win that they have, because my local grocery store has like a vending machine for that has all the different lotteries, the scratch
love them.
offs, all that stuff.
Oh, we have that
They have
too.
one here where it's what is it called? It's like winner for life or something like that. Basically,
I want to win that one. You win like so many
$1,000 a day every day for the
Yeah.
rest of your life.
That's nice. I could do it.
Nice.
I
I
want
could do that. I
I
could
could-
live off that.
yeah.
I know. I want a new car, but I got to wait 2 months. You know?
Yeah, you're right. You got to stack your cheese for a couple. Yeah,
That's 30,000.
1 month. Well, I'll take a $30,000 car. But
Yeah, that'd be nice.
or I could spend $1,000 a day. Just either way.
But then I'd be worried that maybe they've also put a hitman on me. You know.
Not for that. Only if you get the lump sum.
I'm like, I'd be all looking over my shoulder.
What would you do if you won the big lottery? What would you do? What would be your first 3 things that you would do?
The first 3 things that I
Yeah.
would do?
I want to hear it. I want to know what you would do. I bet you I
Step
know.
1, don't tell anyone.
Yeah. I
Not your
wouldn't tell
friends,
anybody.
not your family, not somebody that you're talking to on the internet. Don't
Right. I
tell
wouldn't.
anyone.
Exactly. I would not tell anybody, but I would quietly first 3 things I would do is I would quietly find a smart person who knows what to do
With money?
with money to protect it first.
I know what to
They,
do.
they do have money managers. They do have that.
Yeah.
You get
I
an
would-
LLC, collect the money into an LLC before you do anything. That way,
Yep.
if anybody tries to come and collect from you, they can't collect from you. It's protected.
I don't know. I think you like. I don't know. Your husband could get it if you have an
I
LLC.
would,
They do have money managers now that specifically can plan for something like that, because
right.
you get like X amount of whatever. If you take the full cash option, you get like the lump sum, which is only half of whatever it is. Blah 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 blah. blah.
Yeah.
Whatever. We all
Yeah,
know
I
that.
would take a lump sum
But,
for stuff.
If you get a money manager person, basically it's like they don't own the money, but they're basically giving you like an allowance. It's like, okay, you can only have 300 million or whatever it is. Yeah. But they take a chunk of your money, you know, like a quarter of it, and invest it in like super safe stock type things that don't really lose money. So even if you piss away the part that they say is okay for you to spend, you're never actually going to be broke.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You need to
Right.
invest.
And then there's this, of course, where you just
Yeah.
walk
even if you were-
walk into work wearing a tiny bikini thing and just shit on the desk or whatever it is you're gonna do.
Oh,
Shake it down the
God.
desk.
I wouldn't like, I don't know. I wouldn't live in some big old mansion and
I would.
you know.
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
I would.
I would have a lot of
My
things,
bills
though.
so
I would have
fast.
maybe several outbuildings. Like I'd have an art studio
Yes.
and
A workshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
a
like
wood
that
shop
idea.
for sure.
I would have a dance studio and a recording studio, and I would have a workshop, and I would have a craft room. I would have room for everything.
Another outbuilding for whatever car you want to decide to drive around.
I would just buy a bunch of containers, right? And then I'd put all my shit in containers on land. And then it'd just be a giant container mansion.
I've actually considered, like, if I went like that, is because I'm still kind of doing the same thing on just a much smaller scale with my van idea of just driving around and seeing the country and, you know, all that stuff. You know, get tired, just take a nap in the back, but have like strategic places around the country where it's like a little hideout kind of a thing, where it's
Right.
nothing but like 20 acres in the middle of it is like you say, like a shipping container, but it's got
Or
like
military.
everything in it, you know.
Or an
Yeah,
old
I would
abandoned
definitely
missile
make
silo, right? An old abandoned missile silo.
Hideaways
Buy-
stocked up for like 5 years worth of stocks. If you know, someplace for you to go hide.
Yeah.
Right. I would buy a safe place. That'd be one of the number 3 things I would do. I don't know if it'd be number 2 or number 3, but I would secure a safe place haven for my family and enough people, like for like 3 or 4 or 5 families to go with.
Buy an old
And-
AT&T communications bunker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
I
you
mean,
ever
I
seen
would
those?
like here in Arizona, there's a lot of like missile silo thingies underground in southeastern Arizona.
If you clean them up right, those actually have a ton of room that you can do anything.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that why you said
different
that?
levels, and they go like down, and then they'll go over, and then they drop down, and then they go. So yeah, they're neat. I don't know. I'd super live in something like that. I'd have at least have it, so you know. I'd also want to have somewhere in the Grand Canyon. I would just build a house. I wouldn't give up.
I would never give up.
You
But
can't,
yeah.
you can't build a house there. How much is it going to cost? How about now?
Right? I'd just be a little shack. I'd be like, please let me live on the river. I won't bother anybody.
How about just a parking space for my van? I'll just be visiting every once in a while, but
Right, or not even
I'm
works.
not
too,
actually
right?
building anything. It's just someplace that no one else is allowed to use but me.
That is one thing I would invest in, though. Is I would buy a bunch of mobile home parks and RV parks. Oh, yep, for
Yeah.
sure. Super a lot would do that. It's a good way to make money if you buy a mobile home park.
Yeah, that's the thing is that's usually the trap a lot of people when they win the lottery. They don't know how to do anything with their money except spend it. Pissing away, and then they're broke again and have to go begging for their job that they just crapped on their desk for to get their job back. But you got to make longer term investments. You have to actually buy pieces of property, things like that don't ever go down, like property and a house and a large acreage with it and things like that. That's why I was saying have like some strategic little places, not necessarily full-blown homes, but some little hideaway things where it's like, okay, if I go from here to Florida every year, somewhere in between, I'll put some little cash that I can spend a day or so kind of off the grid and in between, somewhere in between here and there.
It'd be neat to be able to have a house in every place that you go that is built to like the built to the climate or whatever, to be a friendly with environment or whatever. So like if you're in the mountains, to have a house like built into the mountain, or like if you're in the desert, I don't know, to have it built inside of a cactus.
I guess if you were like, if you won one of those giant lotteries that are like nearly $1 billion nowadays when they run into that area, I guess you could go to Vegas and it's like, I'd like to rent a room. How long would we be staying? Forever.
Yeah, I'd like to rent the top floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Indefinitely. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Man, rich people must get bored, because they could just do whatever.
That's why they do weird ass shit.
Yeah, that's why they get
spend
on
their
drugs.
money on. That's why they spend the money on crazy stuff, and they do crazy sex parties with masks and fucking crazy stuff.
They're weird.
Because normal things that you and I consider normal and unusual is just so pedestrian to them that they level up to the point where just having having the pretty model from the local agency or cover of a magazine or whatever every night isn't that exciting anymore. You got to have crazy stuff with whips and chains and electric probes and all kinds of wacky bullshit that they have to throw in there to make it exciting.
I don't understand that. Like, I guess I'll just never.
I know I've never been bored. I don't know what that's like because I don't get bored.
I don't mean either.
If you could afford everything you ever wanted, eventually you would be like, I've been to the Grand Canyon 1 million times. I've been to Vegas 1 million times. I've been to New York. I've been to Paris. All these places. It's like once you've done that a few times, it's like, okay.
Then you got to start looking at the things that you're doing in those places, and then you got to do something you never done before in all those places. I would never get. I don't think I'd ever get bored.
I think it's because we're like creators. Like we do artistic stuff. That's why we don't get bored.
And I feel like there's always something I could learn because I feel like I don't know anything, and there's so much to learn and so many things to learn about.
If I get bored, I start going down rabbit holes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't help it. Like ideas. Yeah, I'll never be bored.
It's cool. I don't know. I like it. I like the way I am. I irritate my husband, but
I know. Myself and my husband.
Yeah, he's like, sit down.
I irritate everybody as well. So
It's okay.
that's okay. Here's to being irritant.
Right? Yeah, we're irritating. Yeah. So that's a good question. That was a nice question. Want to know what I would do? Get ready to cry, sister, because I would pay all mine and my sister's bills.
Get ready.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I would buy us houses, but not close, but not far, but not close either. Like,
would you buy me a house?
Yeah, I would buy everybody a house, but not like right next door, like the next street over. Like we
Right.
all live a street.
Yeah, basically you would buy like a whole neighborhood. Those little pop-up neighborhoods.
Yes.
You buy all of them.
Yep.
Like right when they're first building them, they haven't sold any of them. It's like, I'll take all of those, please.
Yep.
And
I would have all my favorite.
that one's
people
your
there.
house. That one's your house. That one's your house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would do that.
that would
Yes,
be
that'd
nice.
be my dream.
Be able to pay people's debts, you know.
Yep, I would pay my dad. I would pay my dad probably doesn't have any debts, but
Mm.
I would pay all mine and my sister's and my dad's if he had any, but he probably doesn't.
Yeah, you'd be broke pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'd open up.
That's usually how they say a lot of those guys that win those lotteries is because they don't pay for themselves. They don't buy a house, something that even if they lost everything, you've still got a place to live. So
Yeah.
all that kind of an idea. They piss it away on dumb stuff, buying super expensive sports cars and stuff or renting the top penthouse floor at the Wynn in Vegas or whatever it is, the Encore, whatever the expensive place is, which that's just throwing money down the toilet if you're not going to be there that often. So they do stupid shit like that. Don't thinking that it's so much money it'll never run out. Oh yes, it will. And then you get that mysterious relative you didn't know you had that comes up that has a grand idea that just need $100,000 to start the program, that kind of thing.
Cousin Eddie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't want to tell anybody.
Well, you guys, it's been a nice long show. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Hi, Donald. And
Hi, Donald.
thank you. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. If you have any ideas that you guys want to hear us chat about or join us to chat with, just leave us a comment. We'll be more than happy to do that.
Absolutely.
So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Again, I'm gonna put this thing up.
To remind you.
Yeah, that's the link for Sunny.
Last plug for Sonny Conway, who passed away this past weekend. His wife contacted me yesterday to say that the bills were way too much for the funeral, more than she was expecting, as it usually is. And so she started a GoFundMe, and there's been such a giant outpouring of support for all of Sonny's old friends and stuff that blew away her original goal of $3,000 within less than 2 hours after posting the link out there for everybody to see. It is well above that now, but I can tell you it's currently at a little over $6,500. And I'm not just saying this, I'm not trying to grift or anything like that, because I understand money is tight for everybody nowadays. That's still not enough to cover all of the funeral expenses. She was just she had planned for a little bit of it, but it ended up being so much more that that's why she had to ask for $3. She's gotten over double that now. But I can tell you, I know what the actual price is, and it's more than what's currently on the board. So it doesn't have to be, hundreds or thousands or anything. Like if it's $5 to $10, think of it as the last super chat kind of a thing to Sonny, because his family certainly could use it. And I thank you very much.
Definitely, and we will be smoking one for him, but in memory of him, and to pay our, what am I trying to say? Pay our respects.
Pay your respect.
So to him, and we just want to thank everybody for joining us, and join us again next week. Check us out everywhere we're at. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out everywhere, whatever we do. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.